most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Howdy, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Because we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to talk about top 3 gifts for someone in a nursing home. Brad and I actually have a lot of experience with this. Not that we live in nursing homes, but we have worked with a lot of residents who are in skilled nursing facilities, as they're known professionally.
Right, right.
So, and having worked with people like this for years, we kind of see which things are really important to these people.
Right.
As time goes on.
And, some people think that means it's an elderly thing or not, but it's oftentimes not often. There's plenty of times where there's people in their 20s, 30s, 40s from injuries, spinal cord injuries, etc., that are in the same boat, and can use some of these things just as well.
Right. All right. In case you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, we're always giving something away. What it is right now, we don't know.
We don't know.
Video.
But it'll be something.
Yeah, go to bobandbrad.com on the lower part there and go to the giveaway section, and we'll be telling what we're giving away, or go to Facebook, Bob and Brad, because we'll usually have it pinned to the top of the page.
Right.
So
there you go. Let's go to work, Bob.
All right. Number 1, and this is if a person is what we'd say ambulatory or not ambulatory, get them a good, comfortable chair. There's a lot of sitting that goes on in a nursing home generally. And, they're in their room. The rooms a lot of times aren't that big.
Right.
And you really want to have a comfortable chair. If the person can ambulate,
or walk. Some people aren't familiar with that term.
You want to get probably one of those recliners that is adjustable.
Right.
You went through this, Brad.
Right. We purchased one for both my father and my mother. And there's a lot of variety to them. I would say don't get a cheap one. You don't have to get the most expensive. I don't think you need the ones that they heat up and they vibrate and all that. That's
right.
That may or may not.
Something else that can go wrong.
Right, but a good, solid one that's built well. The one we did buy, it wasn't built well, and actually had to take it back within a week because the mechanics were falling apart. So we learned our lesson. You got to spend
a little more.
Yeah, between $1,000, $1,500, you can pretty much plan on for sure. But make sure it's firm. Don't get one that's a soft, mushy one.
People think that it's more comfortable to go into that soft, sinky.
Right.
It's actually generally not more comfortable. People like the firmness of it.
It promotes good posture, and it keeps people aligned and where they should be. So that's and it elevates and can get their feet up.
And they can easily adjust it with electric controls.
Right.
Electronic controls.
Some of the handles, if they got all that stuff on there, there's way too many buttons.
Sure.
For me, I like an up and a down, and that's it.
Yep.
If you got the one with the heat and the vibration and all that, it can be confusing sometimes.
Sure. Going into this further, now let's say the person doesn't walk,
right,
and they are in a wheelchair. That's where it is vitally important that you get them a good wheelchair. Now, Brad and I had this discussion, and people are going to say, well, why don't we just use the chair that the nursing home provides?
Right.
And you can, but you have to understand nursing homes do not have money. They're all just barely getting by.
And we're 2019 in the United States. That's the situation. And that's the way it is.
Yeah, and so they're not going to be in a good chair, and it's not going to. It more likely is not going to be comfortable. If you want to buy your loved one a nice gift, I would get them. A good chair. If you think about how much time they spend in that, and if you try to sit in a chair that long, you'd be shocked how uncomfortable it is.
Right. It's just like going for a long car ride in a car that's not comfortable.
Right.
After 3-4 hours, and you're like, oh man, I am not happy at all. Same situation if it's not a good chair.
That person may not be able to adjust themselves to get more comfortable, or they may not be able to get up out of it just to give themselves some relief. So this is a Broda chair. Broda does really great, I'd say, positioning chairs. Wouldn't you say, Brad? You can use it to wheel around, but it just works out really well for people who need maybe even some advanced positioning issus.
Right.
So, like, for example, this came with the headrest here,
right,
which is an attachment. It's got some of the lateral supports here.
These are Velcro, so they can adjust to anybody's body. This goes up and down and adjusts very easily. Can you do the tilt back?
Sure. So this is I'm gonna first tell what the name is. This is
Oh,
the
sure.
Encore pedal rocker, a very nice chair. I mean, this is a high end chair, so it can go up and down like this as far as adjustments, as far as the back height or back inclination.
Hmm.
But it also has this component which you lock to rock. So I went ahead. Now Brad can show it. This is really nice for someone who likes the rocking chair aspect, and it's also good for like a person if they're agitated,
Right.
maybe from some dementia or whatever. I've seen this work well quite often. It just seems to calm them down a bit.
Right, it does.
So
It is built well. This is not going to fall apart.
yeah,
It's going to
this
take
is a
years.
fine chair.
Hmm.
This is well, we did a video on this. Actually, called it the Cadillac of wheelchairs, because there's nothing cheap on anywhere on this, and it's got multiple adjustments, so it's going to fit you.
Right.
So
Yeah. If you buy it for a loved one, they're going to have it for years.
yeah, so check out Broda, Broda.
Hmm.
We were so nice. It was so nice of them to give it to us. We're going to actually donate it to a favorite patient of ours.
Sure.
So number three, number two. I'm sorry, we're down to number two. Again, going with the sitting issue. Let's say maybe you can't even afford a chair. It's really good to get a good cushion, a good seated cushion.
Right. So, a lot better than a pillow. You want to have
Right.
a cushion, but there's some cushions that cheap cushions that are actually, I think,
Worse than a
worse
yeah.
than a pillow. If you're going to spend, $30 or $40, it's probably not going to be
No,
worth
you
much.
want to get a nice one.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I even talk about like there's one type of cushion that'll have like a dense foam
Hmm.
as a base,
Yep.
and then it has a softer foam on top,
Right.
and that allows you to sink in and be comfortable, but you don't sink in so much that your butt bones go right down to the bottom of the chair.
Right. So yeah, you
So
don't bottom out, if you will. And oftentimes that top layer is a memory foam.
right.
And that really is, memory foam has been a wonderful thing for cushioning for things like this.
Yeah, so again, as a rule of thumb, you're probably going to spend a little bit more,
Yep.
and you definitely want to make sure it doesn't bottom out. If you're having skin breakdown, you're probably going to even go to something like this, which is the Roho cushion, ROHO.
Right.
And this is a low profile one, meaning that it's not as high. They have ones that are almost double this,
Right.
and they have these individual air cells, and they're very comfortable. You can, fill them up to the amount of air that you need.
Right. They tell you how to adjust them. There's a
Yeah.
pump that comes with them, and you do need to adjust them properly, or you won't get the benefits.
These have been around for 30 years, wouldn't you say, Brad?
Well, as long as I've been in
Yeah.
therapy, over 23 years, and you've been in here, what, 300, 400 years?
Yeah,
So,
3 or 4 thousand years. And the thing is, it is the best cushion without a doubt for skin breakdown.
right.
I
And
mean,
actually, a top end Rojo, I think, goes for around $400 or $500.
yeah,
But now they make some middle of the line Rojos. You can get them better. And I think they're maybe 100, 150. I'm not sure. You'd have to look it up. But
yeah, you have to look it up because I thought that was the case too. And then every time I kept looking up, they were back up to 400. So,
but if
uh,
you do have skin breakdown on your bottom side,
yeah.
that really makes life miserable, and then it's really
Oh, it's
expensive.
dangerous also because you can get sepsis and you
Ugh,
can die. I mean,
yeah.
so I mean, they are nothing to mess around with skin breakdown.
Right.
So number three, Brad, this is the one that everyone can do because it's inexpensive,
Ooh.
and that is a visit. That's the best
Yeah.
gift you can give someone in a nursing home. And if possible, I'd also take them out of the facility.
Sure.
Take them outside for a car ride or take
Yep.
them to a restaurant. You know, just figure out a way to do it because if you can't imagine yourself being in one place all the time,
Right. Right.
go a little stir crazy and I see the look on residents' faces when they come by. They say, "Yeah, my son or my nephew came by this weekend and took me out for a car ride,
Right.
and how much they enjoyed it. Really nice to take them back, like to maybe their town where they grew up
Sure.
or their farm
You
if
know,
they came from a farm.
obviously, assuming if they're health and they're
Yeah,
strong enough.
they're strong enough to do this, right?
Right.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, I saw a patient, and the sole reason I spent an hour with him and his brother was to show him how to get in and out of the car
yeah,
safely. They had to use a slide board transfer, and we went through it. And so that works out well.
And if you can't, just the visit
Right.
is plenty enough for many
Sometimes
people.
just take the wheelchair and push them outside, get some
Yep,
fresh
that's
air.
exactly right.
Mhm.
That's a lot of people do too. So, and if you're in Minnesota and it's in the middle of winter, I probably would avoid that one though too.
Yeah,
So,
just watch a movie.
yeah. So, all right. Hope that helps and take care of those people, our loved ones.
That's right.